All right. Give it a quick second. Let's see what happened. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going and open it up.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. Shalom. We'll start first by giving all praises and glories and honors unto Yahweh, Bahashem,
Bashim,
Yahushai,
Yahushua,
Bahashem,
Bashim,
Harakak,
Yahushua.
double honor to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone who taught us this truth and which doctrine we come in. And greetings, salutations, and blessings and much love unto you, hopeful elect out there, you men and women out there who have changed your life and the life of your families and your children's, that you may earn your salvation in these last days. Shalom unto you. I'm your brother Shaquat. You can introduce
I'm
yourself.
Brother Arya. And I want to add real quick, since we going into this topic, just recently, just recently I started adding in my intro of saying shalom to the Israelite foreigners out there that may not be resemble the natural look of a Israelite from the 12 tribes because they may take on the appearance of where they've been scattered, but
All
their
right.
seed line goes back to one of the 12 tribes. They understand and listen into this truth and sincerity. Shalom to y'all as well.
Come.
And
Beautiful.
that actually is going into the topic, of our lesson today.
You got it. You got it.
So I'll start off with, and if you got anything, let me go ahead and bring it out. If not, I'll just go into the definition.
Yeah, now hit the definition. You got it.
All right, so we're gonna bring out the definition from dictionary.com
Well,
of
the
Hellenization.
title, let me speak on the title right quick. The title
Yeah.
was The Hellenization of Our People, talking about the Israelites, led us to pagan worship. And with the holiday season and everything coming around, whether it be Thanksgiving, whether it was Halloween, I mean, all year round, there's different pagan holidays and rituals that our people wholeheartedly just jump into and be a part of because they don't understand or know that we're the children of Israel and that we shouldn't be, involving ourselves into these other pagan holidays and so-called holidays and rituals, and they're usually just rituals of wickedness, with devil worship. They're on the satanic calendar. There's deeper agendas of whether it's Babylonian, Egyptian, and different other customs that our people just gravitate to and jump into without doing some real research into what we're talking about. Well, we're here to discern it for you in the spirit and to kind of show you why we gravitated onto the heathens' customs versus our own customs.
Hey, bro,
Okay,
let me can I back
you
you
got
up
it.
real quick? Can you get Jeremiah? Is it Jeremiah 16 and 19, Baba Bushaw?
I got you. Uh, Let me see. Jeremiah chapter 16, 16, right? Yes,
Yeah.
right here. Yep. Yep. Jeremiah chapter 16, verse 19, it says, O Lord Yahweh, which the name of the Heavenly Father is Yahweh, his only begotten Son, who you ignorantly call Jesus Christ, is Yahweh Shai. Anyway, it says, o Lord Yahweh, my strength and my fortress and my refuge in the day of affliction. The Gentiles shall come unto thee from the ends of the earth and shall say, surely our fathers have inherited lies, vanity, and things wherein there is no profit.
Right, because you just said that our people don't research what the things that they study, they just take it
Mm-hmm.
on. It's just been handed down. Same thing with us. Everything we knew that we celebrate growing up wasn't of us. It was what was
Right.
given to our parents and our parents' parents and four parents. They've been handed
Mm-hmm.
down from ages to ages
It's the
on
slave
down to
masters,
us.
oppressors,
Yep.
conquistadors. Yeah,
So we've been inheriting these lies, up until this very day. Our people
that's
inherit these
right.
lies. It's
Let me
only
hit
until the
the.
Most High wake you up, like I'm gonna speak, as a testimony to yourself. Your children were born into the lies. Your children were born and you were in the truth. You were teaching
Mm-hmm.
them the truth. Even so, some of our other family members were still following these lies, and they was able to observe them, but they knew the
Mm-hmm.
truth, and that's the
Right,
only way our people can get away from those inherited lies is if they were blessed to have parents that brought them up in the truth.
right. And the scriptures say, But you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
That's right.
Right? Let me read the next
Yeah,
verse also.
yeah, you
Verse
got
20, it says, shall a man make gods unto himself, and they are no gods?
it. Right.
So all these pagan gods stem from things that the heathen came up with because they
Exactly.
didn't have a real God. We have the real living power,
The
God
living
Yahweh.
power. That's right,
You
bro.
know, we have the and he chose the Israelites. He's God of all the people of the earth, but he has a special people, a peculiar people unto himself, which he chose the Israelites, which are you so-called Negro, Latino, Native Americans, and those Israelites foreigners that are scattered amongst the heathen that may even look like
That's
you.
right.
You
So
got it, bro.
yeah, so if you can go to Deuteronomy 28th chapter,
Yep, I'm there.
we're gonna start from there.
And
Uh,
and I'll even segue into it so we don't have to read the top of the chapter, certain verses just to get people to understand what this is about. You can go into this chapter and read and see pretty much what it's about. But,
right.
but to try to inform you on what this chapter is about is the blessings and the curses that will come upon Israel. If we followed the law, we would get the blessings. If we didn't,
Mhm.
wholeheartedly and perfectly, we would get the blessings. If we didn't, we broke one or all of them, we would inherit these curses. So this is the 60 you want me to go there,
Four,
right?
64.
I got you. This is Isaiah chapter 28, Isaiah, Deuteronomy 28, verse 64. And the Lord Yahweh shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other, and there thou shalt serve other gods.
Right.
Which, mm-hmm.
So
I keep
we've
going.
been doing that. If you look out
Mm-hmm.
throughout the earth, the 12 tribes, we're the ones that scatter. We're the only people that scattered amongst all people across the four corners of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
We're the only ones that serve in the captivity under that scattering. And
Mm-hmm.
we're the only
Thinking
ones
we're
who,
those people.
huh?
I was saying taking on the customs and thinking we're those
Right,
people.
right, right. Taking on their ways. And
Mm-hmm.
why is that? Because we've been living amongst them and we lost our way. Because scriptures say that he will scatter you among these people and that there will be a falling away from the nation of Israel. Part of that
Mm-hmm.
falling away is losing who you are. Matter of
Spirit,
fact,
bro.
go from there. You finished on that?
Now it's a little more.
All right, yeah, bring it.
Diaspora. Con, brother, occupy till I come. Posted diaspora. Yeah. That's it.
Yep,
That's it
that's right.
exactly. Yep.
That's exactly what it was.
Mm-hmm. Shalom, Mark.
Shalom, bro.
Yep. A little more on this. It says, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. I'm gonna read a little more. Um, just to hit this point, it says, and among these nations shalt thou find no ease. Meaning, even
Yep.
if we grow up looking like these heathen that we're around, we believe we're them, but the conditions of our life aren't as easy and straightforward as it is for those actual heathen. We still on the bottom in these other nations. We still on the, check to check, and we can't ever fully come up like the heathen can because this is the curse that was specifically put on the Israelites. You
Right,
got
and
it.
have no ease, meaning we'll have no rest, we'll have no peace, we'll have
Mm-hmm.
no, we'll have nothing for us to establish for ourselves. We don't
Right.
have, when you look at throughout the earth, Israelites don't have that. We don't have
Mm-hmm.
our own communities where it's just us living there with our grocery stores and our hospitals and our department stores and things that we own. We don't own nothing.
We
We
don't
got
have
scriptures say you shall go
we don't have
to
little Israel in every city like little Italy or
yeah, like
little Korea or
China,
whatever, little
Chinatown
Chinatown.
and
Yep,
Koreatown, and we don't have that stuff. We don't have nothing for ourselves. We're taking on their customs, so of course we're gonna have to abide by their stuff. The scriptures say that you shall go to your enemy for the one of all things.
that's in that
So
same chapter. Yep,
yep, and it tells you that we're gonna that they will be the head and we will be the tail.
that's right.
You know, go ahead, you got it.
I got another one. This is Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 4. It says, and thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee,
Yep.
and will call. You want to speak on it?
No, you got it. No,
I
keep
said,
reading.
con,
I'll
con,
speak on it.
and will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever.
Right, and that kindle that fire of us being a disobedient nation, of not
Mm-hmm.
following the law, statute, commandments. He gave us these to follow, but we've been breaking these law, statute, commandments as a nation as a whole throughout all of our generations up until this very day. If you can get if you can get Baruch 3 and 8.
Yep.
So as we break these things, and Most High says, you becoming, I don't recognize you. So you're not my people. My people wouldn't be doing this. Why are you acting this way? You know what? I'm gonna place these curses on you, and they're gonna get
Yep.
heavier and heavier throughout the generations till we just totally discontinue to our full own heritage and not even knowing who we are as a nation of people. We're
That's right.
taking on a identity that another man gave us,
Yep.
a covering cast that he's given us. And he's
Yep.
given
Not
us this while he slid on into our identification and saying he's
right.
us. So the Most High not only took our heritage from us, our culture, our, and he gave it to another nation of people to carry it as if they're them falsely, at the same time placing heavy curses on us that we have to live out throughout, at the ultimate time giving them full reign over us.
That's
They're
right.
ruling over us. The lowest people on earth that has ever been in existence is now ahead of all nations,
Right.
rose to the top. That's the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. He can
Right.
bring the lowest to the top and bring what people supposed to be at top to the bottom.
Was that it was that it says I have seen uh
Yeah,
princes
servants,
servants
princes,
on horses and princes
servants.
walking upon the earth.
Yep,
And those servants on horses are these heathen, particularly Esau, but these heathen
yep,
and these princes walking upon the ground. We down there in a servitude position.
exactly.
Come.
So
I
you got
got
that.
that Baruch.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. Bring that.
Baruch chapter 3, verse 8. It says, Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity, where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse,
That
and
was
to be
it's like that was written in Deuteronomy 28:64. The curse of being scattered amongst the nations for
mm-hmm,
reproach. Go ahead.
yep, and to be subject to payments according to all thine iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord Yahweh our power.
Yep. And how did they depart? By not keeping the law, statutes, commandments, not following in the ways of the Most High that He has put forth for us to do. Because we had righteous men that was doing that
Yep.
and was setting examples, and then the wickedness just took over and just consumed us as a whole nation. From
Mm-hmm.
from 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 other judges and rulers on down to actual kings of Israel. So
Right.
our people, even to this day, even though we're on the bottom, the leaders of our people in Scripture say that they languish.
Mm-hmm.
They're not true leaders of the nation. They're actually lying to our nation. They're part of the helping and of fulfillment of the Hellenization of our people.
That's
So
right.
let's go from there to go to
Let me. I got something. I got something right quick. But I wanted to
you
say
got it.
this also. The Most High set up a righteous structure for our people to stay in line with Him. But corruption have intervened. Okay, this is Deuteronomy back in 28 verse 47 and 48. It says matter of fact and 49. It says shit and 50. It says because thou servest not the Lord Yahweh thy power with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord Yahweh shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
Right. No, that goes that take place during Esau's rule, but we've been serving under all these nations.
Mm-hmm.
All of the 17 nations that's sitting on the earth, we served in subjection to them and
Yep.
took on a lot of their ways.
That's
A lot
right.
of our people to this very day. Right now, we're currently under Esau's empire, right? Ruling, starting beginning with the Greeks, onto the Romans, onto the revised Roman Empire, which we're sitting in today, which is here in America, but is ruled by the super global elites.
Yep.
They're above us, and everything that happens is comes at their rule of thumb. They get to decide everything. They set up the
Mhm.
policies. They set up the rules and the laws that's been set forth that we have to follow to this day.
Right.
If you can, you finish on that?
Yeah,
You
that's
got
good
enough?
enough. Matter of
All right,
fact,
let's
let me
jump.
hit 49. Let me hit 49.
Okay, you
It
got it.
said, "The Lord Yahweh shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young." And
Yep.
that's what Esau has done unto us, man. He's been cold blooded to our whole nation. And like the fact that we'd be killed for reading, why was that? So we wouldn't read this book to get this
Mm-hmm.
word in the spirit, and it would come back and we would call upon our nation and take them out of power and rise us back into power. So what did
Right.
he have to do? He had to keep us destroyed, and then he had to give us something to do instead, which was follow his pagan ways. You got
Right.
it, bro.
Yeah. That's for making us a broken people, broken unto the point where we won't seek our power. We just relinquish our power unto the so-called white man.
Right.
If you can go to get First Esdras 8 and 69.
Yeah, I knew you was gonna go there.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I got you. First Esdras chapter 8. Oh shit, hold on.
Read 69 and verse 70 as well.
Con. First Esdras chapter 8. Hold on. Verse 69. It says, the nation of Israel, the princes, the priests, and Levites have not put away from all, excuse me, from them the strange people of the land.
Right.
Yep.
That's the other nation. Go ahead.
It says, nor the pollutions of the Gentiles.
Now, what's the pollution of the Gentiles? The fact that they could do whatever they want to do. Their what they do is not a pollution unto them, but it's a pollution unto us. We
Right.
can't
Their
eat what we want
idols.
to eat like they do. They can eat
Yep.
whatever it is to be eaten, kill whatever they want to kill and eat it. Not us. We have a dietary law we got to follow. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we have to follow our heritage, but they don't have no. Because when you have law, statutes, and commandment, what does that bring for? It brings order, which
Yep.
will bring peace to your people. They
Yep.
didn't have that. That's why they were all over the place, all worshiping all different types of gods. Whatever village you was in, even though you're the same people, you want to worship another god, you worship another god. But our
Mm-hmm.
people, then we were supposed to worship the true power, just one, and follow what he say do. But our
Right.
people started joining unto them in marriages and making and having children with them, therefore taking on their ways. And then now you might have a Moabite woman you don't lay with and had a son with. Now this son is following after the ways of how that Moabite woman was raised. She's
Right.
installing that pollution into our children, therefore polluting us.
Right.
Go ahead.
Reading on, it says, I started 69 again. It said, the nation of Israel, the princes, the priests, and Levites have not put away from them the strange people of the land, nor the pollutions of the Gentiles, to wit, of the Canaanites, Hittites, Perizzites, Jebusites, and the Moabites, Egyptians, and Edomites. For both they and their sons have married with their daughters, and the holy seed is mixed with the strange people of the land.
Right.
And,
Go ahead.
yep, and from the beginning of this matter, the rulers and the great men have been partakers of this iniquity. And
Right.
this is something that we talked about last night. So I'm gonna jump over that, but you can make your point.
Just on a quick, can you get Micah 2 and 10?
Got you.
Because that pollution is still in effect. So our
Hmm.
people don't understand that the defiling of our nation comes with us following after the customs of the other nations because it was never meant for us. Just like justice don't come to us here. Justice don't come to us because this is not our rest, it's not our land. We're not
That's
supposed
right.
to be we can't ask for a piece of the pie when it was never baked for us.
That's right.
We have our own, the most I have our own thing for us. Like you have certain Jake out here won reparations. We're not gonna get no reparations on this side. This man had
Hmm.
he has reparations on the books that he never delivered to before any of us was born. These reparations were on the books and was never given to our forefathers. He gonna give them
40
to
acres
us?
in the mule. Yep.
Exactly. It's like like this country's still living off that slavery money, and it's like
Hmm.
it's like we're gonna get our reparations in the kingdom forever.
Yep.
That's when that and it ain't gonna be reparations. It's gonna be the
No,
blessings.
that's right.
You know, you got it.
Yep. Micah chapter 2, verse 10, it says, Arise and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted. It shall destroy you even with a sore destruction.
Right. This
Right.
this this land is polluted, and it's not talking about even though the land is actually polluted with all the smog and all the unclean air and everything and all the chemtrails that Esau put in the air. But it's talking about the ways. The
Hmm.
pollution comes when you come into America. You have people from the Middle East, Islam, Nation of Islam, or Muslims. They come over here, and they women have a certain dress code and a certain meekness about them. They get over here, and before you know it, all that is broken. That's a pollution. That's letting these people just break their ways because they're following after the ways of the people here. You have Asians that come here now. Now what do? They wearing suits, ties.
Hmm.
Whose pollution is that? Whose ways is that? That's the so-called white man's ways.
Yep.
Same thing with our people, man. Our people, even Hamites, they come here. They don't dress the way they dressed in their homeland where they were from. They don't they don't eat their food. They take on American diet. They take on American ways, going to get education and get money and all this. This land is greatly polluted, meaning it will change the ways of your perspective of how you're supposed to be versus how you end up being.
That's right. It's not a mystery that who sets the prices of these commodities, whether it be the meats or whatever, the things that we consume that feed into our spirit that would break us away of like dietary laws and so on and so forth. Speaking of that like in our neighborhoods, pork is super cheap. You know,
Yep, easy to obtain.
shrimp is all over. We got a lot of fast food and terrible processed foods in our neighborhoods because they know it would defile us, and those are things that the heathen would do. I got a
Right.
precept on the comment board right now though.
Yeah, bring
This
it
is
up.
occupy till I come, Jeremiah 10:2. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushua, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Learn not the way of the
Right.
heathen. So we wasn't supposed to take on their customs. You got it?
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. We weren't supposed to take on their customs, but we didn't have a custom no more because the Most High yanked it from us. Matter of fact, go over to First Esdras 8 and jump to the 83rd verse.
Okay, Carl, let me read this real quick because there's a couple of the comments brothers hitting them.
Come
GMSY
on.
Bar. Yeah, the brother. It said people come here and lose their religion.
Mm-hmm.
Carnitas, chorizo, meat popular with Issachar. Yeah, you
Yep.
know, all these cheap ass meats, hot dogs, all this shit is super cheap. Be pork, chicken, and beef or whatever they may have in it. Who knows what parts of those animals? But this is what we consume because we can afford it. Farmer John has been laying the groundwork of destroying our people through the colon.
That's
He
right,
said
bro. I used
that,
to work for them when I was in the world.
yeah,
They slaughtered 3,000 pigs a week, bro. And them all, and they use every portion of the pig, bro.
yep,
Even to having Esau put pork on aisles that ain't even in the meat section, bro. Regular aisles. You can go pickle pig feet. You can
yep.
go get
To spam in a can.
pork rinds. Yep, you
Yep,
can get spam and what's it, Vienna sausages and all that.
yep. You said the 83rd verse, right?
Yeah, yeah, 8 and 83. Read on down to like the 88 verse,
Got you. This
and
is
then we're gonna bring
First
out the
Ezra.
definition of Hellenistic.
Con. This is First Ezra chapter 8, verse 83. That the land which ye enter into to possess as an heritage is a land polluted with the pollutions of the strangers of the land.
There go that
And they,
pollution. Man.
you got it?
Go ahead. No, I was just chiming in.
Oh, it says, yeah. Uh, and they have filled it with their uncleanness. And then the main way that they was doing that was with their idols, man, you know,
Exactly.
and their customs. It says 84, therefore now shall ye not join your daughters unto their sons, neither shall ye take their daughters unto your sons. Moreover, you shall never seek to have peace with them, that ye may be strong and eat the good things of the land, and that to keep the dietary laws, right?
Right. Right.
And that ye may leave the inheritance of the land unto your children forevermore. And all that is befallen is done unto us for our wicked works.
Right. Because when it says an inheritance, right? The
Mm-hmm.
scriptures tell you we start off and you have broke it down about how we keep these laws that the Most High will put us on high, He will bless us. But if we break them, all these curses will come upon us. So if we was doing what we were supposed to be doing, the Most High will give us the land to inherit and will bless that land, so that land will be vibrant and will rejuvenate itself year and year after year. Because why? Because every 6 year we will move to another land to cultivate, and we would
Yep.
do our vegetation there and give that land that we was just in a land Sabbath,
Yep.
which is part of our laws. So the Most
Yep.
High we would be more prosperous, but our people didn't.
Mm-hmm.
We allowed ourselves to mingle amongst the nations that like you said, part of the pollution was the false idol worship, worshiping false
Mm-hmm.
gods that didn't have any power or no life to them. You got it.
Yep. Yep. I'm in the 86 verse, and all that is befallen is done unto us for our wicked works and great sins. For thou, O Lord Yahweh, didst make our sins light, and didst give unto us such a root. But we have turned back again to transgress the law, excuse me, thy law, and to mingle ourselves with the uncleanness of the nations of the land. Mightest not thou be angry with us to destroy us, till thou hadst left us neither root, seed, nor name?
Right. So meaning root was what
Mm-hmm.
who we come from. Seed is our children after us. They won't know where they
Mm-hmm.
come from. And the
Yep.
name, meaning He would take His name away from us, and then the
Mm-hmm.
name of who we are to even know who we are. So He just
Right.
totally stripped us of our full existence of who we are and we come from. And then He allowed the so-called white man to tell you that our existence began in slavery. So
Right.
so where were we before that? He just totally wipes that out the history books, and no one
Mm-hmm.
questions it. Why? Because it's a so-called white man's curriculum. If he
Right.
says, okay, you want to start in the history books and start to bringing us about during slavery, will you take your history going back to your existence, going back to your, and all these centuries ago
Mm-hmm.
previously? So you was the only one living on the earth?
Yeah,
And
like
the other
everybody
Christians,
was
they don't
white or
even
something
give,
back.
huh?
Now I'm saying like everybody on the earth was white back then. He always twists the story and lie about it, and our
Right,
people don't do the research to look it up. And even though we're living in the information age now, you know,
right. It means it's readily available for you.
I want to say
So
this also a precept that we had already read, Jeremiah 17 said we would discontinue for our heritage. We wouldn't know who we are. And the brother put on here, GMS Hawaii Ba, Jeremiah 2:11, have a nation changed their gods, which are yet no gods?
yep.
But my people have changed their glory for that which do not profit. Yet I was thinking about that chapter. That's a beautiful chapter because later in that chapter, the Most High said, okay, now if you want to be like that, when He brings all the hell that's coming to our people in these last days to fulfillment, the day of the Lord, He gonna leave those people that believe in them fake ass gods. He gonna leave them to those guys to try to help them. Call on them guys to help you
Yeah,
if they can
exactly.
help
It
you.
goes into that Jeremiah the 10th chapter.
Yep,
But Lord, we'll touch on that. Can you get Psalms 106 and 33?
got you. Yep. Hold on, hold on. Let me bookmark these right quick, just so I have them for something else. You said Psalm. What was that?
106 and
One
verse
hundred six.
33.
Gotcha. Psalm one
Because
hundred
Israel
six.
always, for some reason, we always as a nation has played the little brother role to the other nations, like want to follow after their ways. You know how you have a little brother that just want to be joined at the hip of their big brother and do everything he see that the big brother do.
Mm-hmm.
But we're really the big brother. Like we're supposed to be leading. We're supposed to be doing things our way. The other nation's supposed to be following suit to us. But since we've lost on our way, now we took on the role of a little brother. That's why the scriptures say, um, roughly paraphrasing, it talks about how um, they that are younger than us rule over us, or
Yeah.
they and no, and women rule over. I'm gonna look it up right quick.
Yeah. It's just it's Isaiah 3. It's
You know what
Isaiah
is that?
3. Yeah, Isaiah 3 and 12.
Or you can yeah, you come pull it up real quick.
I got it real quick. Yep. Isaiah chapter 3, verse I think it's 12. Yeah, it says, yeah, as for my people, children are their
Yeah,
oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee call thee to err and destroy the way of thy paths.
right. Because the nation of Edom, Esau, Edom, come
Hmm.
from what? Come from out of Rebecca and Isaac. So,
Hmm.
which was Jacob's twin brother. So they're children unto us because they came from us. But the read that part, read that again.
Yeah, the brother posted it now also. So it says, Isaiah chapter 3, verse 12, and for my people, children are their oppressors. A
Right,
more insignificant, younger race of people are ruling over us. It says,
right,
and women rule over us. That shows you how weak we are. That our women are now ruling over the men of our nation.
right. And who gave the women that power?
Right.
Esau, the
That's right.
same ones who been oppressing us.
Hmm.
So if you can get that Psalms 106
Yep. Psalms 106, and you wanted. I saw to start up at
at the verse
30.
30 and just read on down to
Yeah.
37,
Which verse?
33,
Yeah.
106 and
Exactly.
33.
Yep. Yep. Verse 33. It says, because they provoked his spirit, so that he spake uh, unadvisedly with his lips. They did not destroy the nations concerning whom the Lord Yahweh commanded them, but were mingled among the heathen and learned their works.
Right, we were mingled amongst the heathens and learned their works. That's the pollution.
Hmm.
We began polluted by learning the ways of their works, meaning their customs, their heritage, you know, the things
Yep.
that they do, their traditions, and all that.
Hmm.
Go ahead.
It says, and they served their idols, which were a snare unto them.
They served their idols and was a snare unto them, meaning
Yep.
a trap. Like that. That's the part that our people don't understand. That they can't. We can do what the Most High say do, and the Most High will have mercy on us. But if we do what they do, that's when the
Yeah.
punishment comes. That's the snare, because they don't have
Hmm.
snares, because they're like they're bastards. They don't have a father. They don't have the Most High is not their power. They do
Yep.
whatever they want to do. You have a you
Yep.
have a you have an Asian man reaching 100 years old, but Bernie Mac died at 50.
Yep.
In his 50s.
And
They
that old
both of them
man.
men were doing the same thing their whole life, eating the same
Yep.
bullshit.
Yep.
But the Asian dude doing whatever he want to do, living how he want to live. Bernie Mac didn't. Did he get a full life? No. Why? The
Hmm.
Most High took him because that's part of the curse. The scriptures tell you. Matter of fact, real quick, can you grab Amos 3:1?
All right.
Because the Most High he don't punish the other nations.
Yep. Yep.
No, he like when we talk about punishment, yeah, something bad and tragic might happen to some of these other nations.
Yep.
But as a whole, are they being
Yeah.
punished? Are they in the same conditions
Hey,
that we in?
the brother, well, Amos is gonna hit it, but the brother, while I'm grabbing this, I'll say this. I'll read the brother precept, Hawaii Bach. It says, Second Ezra 6 and 57. Now these, O Lord, behold, these heathen
No, hold on. Time out, time out.
Hold that one.
As a spirit, no. Jump up though. Jump up to
Okay,
54.
okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hold on.
Hey, hey, good
Let me get your
precept, brother.
precepts so I could go back. We'll get that.
Good. That's a good
Salaki.
precept.
Yep. Let me here we go. Amos chapter 3. Let's start at verse 1. Yeah, it says, hear this word. Yeah. Hear this word that the Lord Yahweh has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth.
Right.
Therefore, I will punish you for all your iniquities.
Right. So that means he only know us. So
Hmm.
so you look at like a 17 kids go out to play, and one, the Israelite father told his son, "Hey, listen, be at home before the street lights come on." And then
Hmm.
the street lights come on at 7 o'clock. He come dancing his ass back home at 7:30 with all his friends. I mean,
Yep.
he stayed out longer because they wanted to stay out longer. He know what his father told him. So when he come up the street, his daddy's sitting outside with his, he got his belt in his hand, his arms crossed. Is he whooping all
Hmm.
17 of them kids' ass? All 18 of them kids' ass? Or he's whooping one, letting 17 of them go?
Yep.
He gonna be like, he gonna be like, Daddy. They wanted to play longer. We was doing. He don't want to hear we. He want to know what he told you. He said,
Yep.
I tell them to be on before the street lights on. I don't care what they do. They ain't my
Hmm.
kids. Get your ass in this house and get this work. So that's how
That's
that goes with the Most High.
it's
He the
funny
same way.
when you said that. It made me think of Boys in the Hood
Yeah,
with
right.
Trey
It's,
and then
yeah.
Ricky and Doughboy. Yeah,
Yep. And how
this is
and
second
then
address. The brother posting
Cuba
them.
Gooding Jr.'s Lawrence Fishburne told him, he said, they ain't my kids. He said, I don't care what they're gonna be in jail. Watch you see where they end up,
Hmm.
you know,
Yep.
because they didn't have what? They didn't have a father in their house. They had no structure, no balance, no order. They ran over
Yep.
their mama. Yep. And the funny thing about it is in the beginning, early in the beginning of the movie, what did Angela Bassett do? His mom
She
said, "Now
sent
you
to his
want to stay
pops.
with your daddy, because I ain't about to deal with this. You ain't about to run over me. You
Yep.
gonna go with your daddy."
Hmm.
Okay,
It's
so
second
let's
address. I got second address.
go ahead. You got it.
Second address chapter 6, verse 54. And after these, Adam, also of whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures, of him come we all, and the people also whom thou hast chosen.
Right. So
All
all
this.
of us, all 18 nations,
Hmm.
but he only
It's a,
chose one. Go ahead.
yeah, it says, and all this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sakes.
Right. And if we had kept the law, statutes, commandments like he first administrated unto us, we would see that he made the world for our sakes, because we would be on
Hmm.
top and we would be ruling. But we didn't. Go ahead.
Hmm. It says, as for the other people which also come of Adam, who thou hast said that they are nothing but be like unto spittle, and has likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel. And now, O Lord Yahweh, behold, these heathen which have ever been reputed as nothing have begun to be lords over us and
Become
to
to be
devour
lords over
us.
and to devour us, right? So
Hmm.
he basically it's two representations right there, bro. He put forth the representation that they don't mean shit to him.
Hmm.
Like they are as nothing but be like unto spittle, right?
All them other kids.
Yep, all the up them other kids, right? They don't mean nothing to him. But they have begun to be lords over us, meaning I put them in positions over you because you don't listen to me. So
Hmm.
therefore, it's gonna say like, how long is this gonna be? Like Ezra's asking, like, how long, they've been lords over us, for how long? And he's telling to the cities be uninhabited until the missiles come, this place is destroyed. Yeah, Hawashai comes and give us our kingdom. So I mean, we're gonna be in this condition, and they're gonna be over us until we get into our kingdom.
Also, he said, to they acknowledge, I'm going to hide my face till they acknowledge their offense.
Mm-hmm.
If it's that way, if he didn't, put the spirit out there to for the elect to wake up in these times, hey man, this devil was a full mode to completely destroy our people and to control the whole earth. With us other in subject are getting squashed out of the earth. I'm gonna keep
Yep.
reading. Verse 58, it says, "But we, thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover, are given into their hands."
Mm-hmm.
They didn't just take us down; he sanctioned them to be over us.
Right.
It says, "If the world now be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world? How long shall this endure?"
Yep. And it'll endure to this place is destroyed. Now, if you could go
Hmm.
get Joshua 23 and verse 12,
Got you.
because this is what we going into is how our people were scattered and started to take on the other nations' ways, their
That's
works,
right.
like we read before, and then
Hmm.
which began, the Hellenazation. We're gonna bring out that definition for that as well.
Con. You said 23 and what?
12.
12. Yep. Joshua chapter 23, verse 12. "Else if ye do in any wise go back and cleave unto the remnant of these nations, even these that remain among you, and shall make marriages with them, and go in unto them, and they to you, know for a certainty that the Lord Yahweh, your power, will no more drive out any of these nations from before you, but they shall be snares and traps unto you, and scourges in your sides, and thorns in your eyes,
So
until
so
ye."
so so like so when you see Mike Brown and Freddie Gray and
Yep.
who
Trayvon
else?
Martin,
Trayvon Martin and
George Floyd, and
Ezekiel or Ezel Ford and all these different um, crimes that people say that they're committing against us, the atrocities, the unfair, unarmed black man and black women that's getting gunned down in the street, the atrocities that the so-called white man do. These are part of the snares and the traps that's gonna destroy you. The Most
hmm
High say, hey, you done mingled amongst these nations, you done took on their ways, so now I'm gonna punish you. And these are the
hmm
punishment. This ain't happening to no other nations. It's just happening to you blacks and Latinos. You so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native American Seminole Indians. You Israelites. This is only people that's suffering in any kind of way like this.
hmm
I mean, there's not one. There's not one full-fledged Asian gunned down in the street like a dog and laid out there for hours with a sheet over him.
hmm
Not one. Not
Well,
one
name,
so-called
name,
white
name,
man.
name the heathen that had a cop kneel on their neck for 8 minutes till they
Exactly.
died. You know.
A slow, brutal death like that.
Yep.
Name name
Yep.
name name a Middle Eastern Arab woman. They bust into her house and shoot her dead in the bed.
Yep.
Name a so-called Samoan that there's video footage of her. She's in high school and a freaking big ass grown ass man police officer just snatch her and yank her down and just toss her around and freaking go into WWE mode on her.
Yep.
This ain't happening to nobody but us.
hmm
You got it. You
Yep.
finish the 13 out.
Yep. 13. It says, but if I start 13 at the top again, it says, "Know for a certainty that the Lord Yahweh, your power, will no more drive out any of these nations from before you, but they shall be snares and traps unto you, and scourges in your sides, and thorns in your eyes, until ye perish from off this good land which the Lord Yahweh your power hath given you."
Right.
Yep.
So, because remember, we supposed to inherit the whole earth. So whatever
Mm-hmm.
land that this taking place, I mean, it's happening all over. And
Yep.
primarily, a lot of it happens here in America. But if you look in Europe, the same thing happened to Jakes out there. All over the
Mm-hmm.
planet, this happened to Jakes. And it's happening under whoever's in power of that land, whichever nation is ruling. So
Right.
next scripture jump to is go to Book of Judges. Uh, 2 and start at the first verse.
Okay, yep. Judges chapter 2, verse 1 says, and an angel of the Lord came up from Gilead
Now, y'all
to
listen
Bo,
to this, man. An angel of the Lord came down. Go
right,
ahead.
right, yeah, to Boakim, and said, I made you to go up out of Egypt, and have brought you unto the land which I swear unto your fathers, and said, I will never break my covenant with you, and ye shall make no league with the inhabitants of this land. You shall throw down their altars, but ye have not obeyed my voice. Why have ye done this?
Right, right. So the angel is talking to the nation of Israel, like we were delivered out of Egypt, and the land that we went to, we weren't supposed to make any type of alliances with the heathens or the other nations of that land. We were supposed to what? We were supposed to destroy them. Like we were supposed to take these heathens down or not. But yeah,
Mhm.
what do we do? we went there and laid with them and married them.
Let
They
me let
leave.
me grab this. Let me grab this
You got
back
it
in Psalm 106. Psalm 106, verse 38. It's no matter of fact 37. Yea, they sacrificed their sons and their daughters unto devils
unto
and
devil. You
shed
didn't finish
innocent.
that out. That was that next verse, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
But
that's
it
right.
lined up with those other
It
precepts, right? It
lined up.
say,
Yep, yep.
and shed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons and of their daughters, whom they sacrificed unto the idols of Canaan, because that was the land of Israel was used to belong to Canaan.
Yeah,
And
Canaan.
that
Yeah.
was what we went and took that land from them per the prophecy of Yahweh, right?
Yep.
It says, and the land was polluted with blood. Thus were they thus were they defiled with their own works, and went a whoring with their own inventions.
Right. When a whoring after what? The other nations' gods. Start
Yep.
worshiping those other false idols.
I gotta keep reading. I'm looking at this.
You
I
got
gotta keep reading. Therefore was the wrath of the Lord Yahweh kindled against his
Kindle.
people, in so much as he abhorred his own inheritance. He hated us, man,
Mm-hmm.
because we wasn't special no more. We, unto him we look like the heathen to him.
Right. The scripture said they're like, well, our people are like a smoke in his nose.
Yep. Hmm. Oh yeah, verse 41. And he gave them into the hand of the heathen, and they that hated them ruled over them. And their enemies also oppressed them, and they were brought into subjection under their hand. Yep,
Right. Which still happens to this day.
that's right.
To this very day, man. Esau can invent any type of law that he wants to, geared towards anyone he wants to, and there's nothing
Hmm.
we can do about it.
Yep,
And he's got Jake in us so much of the Stockholm syndrome that Jacob enforced it for him.
yep.
People, he the so-called white men get on national television and say you got to wear a mask because if you don't, it's killing people. And then all
Hmm.
these people going around. How did the let me ask you a question, bro. At any time, did any law enforcement ever see you without a mask and say, "Hey, man, you need to have a mask on. If you don't get a mask on, I'm gonna cite you."
No, not me personally. No,
It never happened to me, and I don't know no one it happened to. Who was
right.
enforcing it?
It's Jake.
Stores and then customers.
Yeah,
People,
Jake be like,
where
"Hey,
your
where your
mask at?
mask at?"
Yeah, everybody asking where your
Old
mask at.
Jake too.
Yeah, and they look at you
Hmm.
like you the plague, and they want to get away from you. Well, you the
Hmm.
one that's plagued in the mind,
Yep.
and you the one that the so-called white man knew he wouldn't have to force nothing. These the
Hmm.
people they so brainwashed and they so stupid. They've been brought low, so we ain't gonna have to do nothing. These people, their own people gonna do it. You got people attacking people in stores. I seen a video of a dude get a whole bucket of water dumped on his head because he didn't have a mask on.
People getting killed for sweating people without masks.
Yep.
Crazy, man. You
Somebody
know.
somebody got you're right. Somebody got shot because they asked where your mask was at.
Yep.
Those people snapping.
Where you want after that? That was
Oh,
it. That was it on
no,
that.
go back in
Judges.
yep. Read to
Okay.
the fourth verse.
To the fourth verse. Okay, I read two
Yeah, read
again.
third and three and four.
I will read two also though.
Con.
Again, it says, Judges chapter 2, verse 2, and ye shall make no league with the inhabitants of this land, You shall throw down their altars, but ye have not obeyed my voice. Why have ye done this? Wherefore I also said, I will not drive them out from before you, but they shall be as thorns in your sides, and their gods shall be as a snare unto you.
Right. He
And
didn't
it,
drive before us, but yet made us subject unto them.
mhm. It says, and it came to pass when the angel of the Lord spake these words unto the children of Israel, that the people lift up their voice and wept.
Right. Our people wept, and our people are weeping to this day,
Hmm.
primarily in the conditions they're in. We're the lowest people on earth. Like they build project housing in ghettos for us.
Yep,
The only time you see a so-called white man or other nations in our neighborhoods buying up property is because that's the sign is getting gentrified,
yep,
or they gonna make a profit off of it.
yep. And they usually bring the police in first, or they usually bring the drugs and the churches in, gun store, liquor store. Then they'll bring the police in once we all crazy and drugged out to get us out of there. And then they'll come and buy it up and then start remodeling it, making
Buy
it
it
nice
low,
for themselves.
they'll buy it low, then they'll
Hmm.
remodel it, and then they'll sell it for high, or rent it out high, raising the
Yep,
property value. So Jakes that live in that neighborhood won't be able to afford to stay there.
yep.
So I'm gonna get the definition here. This dictionary.com for Hellenistic. It says pertaining to Hellenist, following or resembling Greek usage of or of related to the Greek or their language, culture, etc. After the time of Alexander the Great, when Greek's characteristics were modified by foreign elements.
Hmm. You meaning when it said modified by foreign elements, meaning other nations took it on.
Bro, what goes directly into that is
Maccabee,
Maccabees,
I'm going there now.
Antiochus Epiphany,
Yep,
and all the ways that the decrees that was put out there.
yep. Let me get to it. You want more? You want to read more or no?
No, that's it on that.
Okay, so I'm in First Maccabees, the first chapter. I'm gonna start at let me see.
Start at verse 7.
Yep, yeah, verse 7. It says, "So Alexander reigned 12 years and then died, and his servants bare rule every one of in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth. And there came out of them a wicked root, Antiochus, surnamed Epiphanes, son of Antiochus the king, who had been in hostage at Rome, and he reigned in the 137th year of the kingdom of the Greeks. And in those days went there out of Israel wicked men who persuaded many, saying, Let us go and make a covenant with the heathen."
Right. So meaning let us go and get Hellenized.
Yep,
Take on their ways and their customs for the
yep,
benefits that they're gonna give us.
yep. It says, with the heathen that are round about us, for since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow. Sound like the 2/3 coming out of Egypt, want to go
Mm-hmm.
back into Egypt to be a part of that Egyptian captivity. So they can live and eat the garlics and the leeks and all those other, pomegranates and all that other stuff. You know, and they can live good and not be wandering, so to speak, in the wilderness eating manna and quail. Yep. Reading on, it says, so this device pleased them well. Then certain of the people were so forward herein, they went to the king, who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen.
Right. Meaning
Whereupon,
gave them authority, gave
yep,
them the ability to do these things without no consequences. So if you had righteous men that would come against them from doing this wickedness, they had the king's backing of them.
yep, exactly. So it says, Yep, in 14, whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem according to the customs of the heathen, gymnos. It
Mm-hmm.
says the gym, that's why we go to the gym now.
You go to the gym now.
Yeah, Jake used to just chop wood and carry wood and build stuff and lift
Yeah.
rocks and move them and, just random life work. And you
Yeah,
got
at
the
life
natural
activity,
physique.
because you had our people had what they had, they had like um a trade.
Yep.
They would have like it would be a trade from handed down from their father and their forefathers. If you was a carpenter, you built. That's what you built. If you was a farmer,
Hmm.
you was a farmer. You was a tent maker. These sort of things that you built.
Fishermen.
You
Yep.
you didn't go to. We didn't have colleges. We didn't have
Yep.
universities and stuff to try to get education. No, you did what your father was doing, unless you
Hmm.
may had like an uncle or they had another apprenticeship program. I mean, when I say apprenticeship program, I mean he had his own business and he would bring you up under him. Like,
Yep.
hey, Dad, I want to do what Uncle doing. I
Yep.
want to do. I think that's more suited for me. And then
Hmm.
then then you go to work for your uncle.
That's right.
And a lot of it was hands on.
Yep.
Physical.
And you were taught the education you were given was because the law was continually passed down within your family anyway.
Yep.
In Deuteronomy, the fourth chapter, it said, "Teach them thy sons and thy sons' sons forever
And then
to
also
love and
like
have faith."
your you would set your son up for for a certain amount of years to work, putting money away so he could start his own his own process of him having a business
Yep.
of doing it himself. You get him
Yep.
set up, we got this land over here. You a farmer, we're gonna buy this land over here, acquire this land and we're gonna start, growing crop over there for you so you can have your farming.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, I'm in verse 15. It says, "And made themselves uncircumcised, and forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief."
yep.
Yep.
And that's the point. That's the point. Our people, man, even to this day, it's the same thing. Our
Hmm.
people will do whatever the so-called white man says, and no matter what type of position they'll put their people into, they don't care
Hmm.
as long as they got the stamp of approval for the so-called white man. And the scriptures tell you, matter of fact, get Proverbs 4:16 real quick.
Proverbs chapter 4. Uh, yeah, right there. You said chapter 4, verse 16.
Yep.
Proverbs 4 and 16 says, "For they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall."
Right. So the so-called white man has to provide mischief in the earth. He cannot sleep. He loses sleep if he ain't doing nothing mischief. If he ain't
Hmm.
causing, some to fall. And tells you right. Go back and read where you was at in Maccabees, the
Yeah,
15th.
actually, I got to jump up.
Come.
Well, jump down, if you will, to the 40th, 41st verse. It says,
And
"Moreover,
the
King
Maccabees,
Antiochus." Yep. First Maccabees chapter,
read 15 and
verse
then jump down.
15.
Yeah,
Okay,
because
kind
it's
of.
linking up with the Proverbs 4 and 16 about the mischief.
Yeah, I just read it. I'll read it again. You're right. It says, First Maccabees chapter 1, verse 15, "And made themselves uncircumcised, and forsook the holy covenant, and joined themselves to the heathen, and were sold to do mischief."
Right now, who was that mischief coming from? The heathen. Who was the heathen that was in power at that time? It
Hmm.
tells you starting from verse
The
7,
Greeks.
Alexander the Greek.
Yep.
So it was the Greeks, which are who? Edomites,
Edomites.
who are in
Yep.
power right now. That same nation.
That's right.
Now you can jump down.
Jump down to 41. It says, "Moreover, King Antiochus wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people." Because if the 16th verse was saying he ruled over two realms, basically the north and the south, the Seleucid and the Ptolemies.
Mm-hmm.
But that's another breakdown for another day. You can read that in the history. It's
Yep.
actually in
And then
circular
link it up
history as
with
well.
Daniel's the 8th chapter too.
Yep. Verse 42 says, "And every one should leave his laws." So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yea, many
This
also of the.
so like it. This is one of the early on New World Orders he was trying to establish.
Yep, yep. It says, and every one should leave his laws. So all the heathen agreed according to the commandment of the king. Yea, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbaths.
Why did many of the Israelites do that? Because that's what we've been doing. That's our
Yep,
MO. All these
yep.
scriptures, the Most High been telling us not to do it, but as a nation, we've been constantly doing it.
If
Worshiping
you
false idols, nothing big to us. As a nation, our people always was doing this.
you look at how our people are always on that the grass is greener on the other side. No
Hmm.
matter how good we got it, we always feel like the heathen doing something that we should be doing also. Like
That's why
that
the
they do,
so-called,
we missing out on something.
that's why the so-called white man knows that, man. I need to reach the blacks and Hispanics, so-called blacks and Hispanics, because if I can get them to convert to what I want to do, these other nations gonna fall because everybody want to do what they want to do. They all follow Israel. So
Hmm.
if the so-called white man wants something done, as long as he gets a so-called black man up there to follow what he wanted to be on his team, guess what happens? Why you think Trump why you think Trump pulled Kanye West on his team and had
Yeah.
all these other all these black artists and stuff supporting him? Because he knows that black people, so-called black people, is who sets the standard. Jacob is the
Hmm.
former of all things, the salt, the flavor. So he knows that if I can just convince them to do it, the rest will they'll fall and do it too.
Yep.
And that's how it's been. You want to sell something, you want to sell something. What? Make a commercial, put a black man or a black woman in there.
You put their energy on it,
Yep.
and you got them.
McDonald's wasn't even McDonald's wasn't when we was kids. They used to have white people as commercials and McDonald's
Hmm.
commercials. Then they want to start targeting you, Jake. All they have to do is start putting black people in the commercials. Not all freaking McDonald's commercials.
Well,
Just Jake's.
Calvin and T Pain doing the soundtrack for the McRib, and
Yep.
the dollar
Even the
menu
Mac Tonight
names.
nigga, man, you knew that was a black. That dude was supposed to be black. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying?
I'm gonna keep reading. Verse 44. For the king has sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah that they should follow the strange laws of the land and forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they should profane the Sabbath and festival days and and pollute the sanctuary and holy people.
Right.
Set up set
So
up
that
all the
that word pollution again, pollute.
yep. And being around the heathen polluted us, man. Made
Yep.
us into pagans, man. Made us Hellenized. Right?
Hellenized. Yep.
It says yep, it says 47 set up altars and groves and chapels of idols and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts, that they should also leave their children uncircumcised, just like the heathen, and
Hmm.
make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation, to the end that they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. And
Right.
whosoever would, you got it.
No, I was just gonna say, change all the ordinances, meaning what? Having our people not following the order of the Most High, but following after the order of the King of Antiochus.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's right.
therefore, making what? Making him our God, making him our power. The same
Mm-hmm.
thing. What he plans on doing with the Charagma.
That's right.
That's the reason why he wants the for the MOB to be pushed. That's why,
Mm-hmm.
because
Exactly.
it's gonna pledge your allegiance unto him.
That's right.
Go ahead.
Yep. Verse 50 says, and whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said, he should die. And that's the same thing the beast is gonna say when the MOTB is instituted.
Yeah,
If
that
you don't say,
MOTB.
if you don't worship this beast in his image, you're gonna. It says it in the book of Revelation 13. That's another one for another day. We still talking about us being turned into heathen, man.
Right, because that
And
because
we've
because
shown many situations on how this is happening.
and
You
and
know.
uh and Slakia, the MOTB is the ultimate. Hellenazation,
Yep.
a fullness of Hellenizing our people to completion.
Yep.
That's right there, and that's why that's one of the most biggest major prophecy that's gonna happen before he gotta for the most part he gotta give go get my sons, go get my children. That's when the
Hmm.
green light we given,
Yep.
because if not, like the scriptures say, if the most high don't shorten the days and make it this thing, speed this thing up, it will be no flesh left to be saved.
Hmm. Yep.
So that's it on this, unless you got more.
Now that's it on that. You got something else? Cause I got something else.
Bring out what you got. I got something else too.
All right. So let me see what I was holding on to. Um, well, to I'm gonna speak on it, and to segue with it. If you look at the correlation, I'll just make this quick. If you look at the correlation of what was happening in the book of Genesis, right? We were talking about this.
Yeah, last night.
Even into the time leading up to the time of the building of the Tower of Babel, was following after the Babylonians, particularly after uh, um, Nimrod, to build that Tower of Babel to be all one people. Another form of the New World Order, as you mentioned,
Right.
was happening in the time of the Greeks. But what did Jake do? Jake was joining on, even though we were a greater people. And then
Yep.
the sixth chapter, right before this whole,
Oh yes. Bring that out, bro.
yeah,
Start from
right
the
before
top.
all of this.
Start
Yeah,
from
I'm
the
gonna
top.
start at the top of that
Because
chapter.
it
Right.
identified. Go into break down who we were at that time too.
Yeah. Oh yeah, cause well, it's gonna say it,
Right, but
but
just the
yeah, as it
classifications
come
that made
along,
it.
I'll read it. I'll break it down as it come along. This is
You got it.
Genesis chapter 6, verse 1. It says, "And it came to pass when men began to multiply on the face of the earth," meaning there was men and women were getting together and multiplying, through the act of sex,
Yeah,
doing
larger in number.
large numbers on the planet. It says on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of the Most High, because there were three classes of men. There were sons of the power, sons of God, which would be divided into the Israelites. Then there were the sons of men, which would be the other 16 other nations of the heathen.
The
And
other
then the
nation.
sons of the wicked would become the
That
Edomites.
seven that 17th nation. Yep.
Yeah, yep, exactly. It says, yeah, and the sons of the power, sons of God, saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and took them wives, all of which they chose. And the Lord Yahweh said, "My spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 100, yeah, and 20 years. There were giants in the earth in those days, and after that, meaning, and when it says giants, it's not talking about, you know, 23-foot people. I mean, we had a higher stature than the other nations, but we were more so giants because of our
Who we
wisdom.
were, our
Yeah, because we were,
reputation, our
and,
status.
and because we had that status, because we were given the wisdom of the Most High, and
That's
it
why
was
he says
oral.
it was oral, bro. I'm glad you touched on that, because that's why he says his spirit will not always strive with men. Because it's like, oh, I'm not about to sit here and go back and forth with you. You know what I require out of you.
Yep.
You know the order that I place within you. That's why.
Hmm.
That's why Cain knew that he knew he gave a bullshit sacrifice.
Yep.
And that's how Abel knew to give the righteous sacrifice,
That's
because
right.
our people knew at that time. So he said, I'm not gonna
Hmm.
keep striving with you.
Yeah, because when you go back to the third chapter, he actually was talking to the people on the earth, particularly Adam, speaking
Mm-hmm.
to them on the earth. And he's like, I ain't about to sit up here and do this all day. And so what he
Right.
ended up doing was sending his spirit down. He told us what to do. And eventually he sent his Holy Spirit down. But anyway, digress back to the point. It says, yeah, verse 4, and there were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, dealing with the heathen woman again, right? And they bare children to them, the same became mighty men, which were of old, men of renown. Now, there's nothing wrong with an Israelite man dealing with a heathen woman. There's nothing wrong with that at all. You just can't be turned by her gods. You can't follow
Mm-hmm.
the customs of the lands of the nations that she's from. That's where
And
the
that's what
problem
happened
was
with
at. It
that's what
wasn't
happened with
about
Solomon.
dealing with the woman. Say that again.
I said that's what happened with King Solomon.
I'm holding that too. I was going to segue to that. Then we can go where you need to go. But reading on, verse 5, it says, and the Most High saw that the wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually. And it repented the Lord Yahweh that he had made man on the earth, and it grieved him in his heart. And the Lord Yahweh said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast and creeping thing and the fowls of the air, for it repented me that I have made them. Now that's
So like
going
it,
into
bro.
the
Hey, keep going, bro. I'm gonna just plug my charge my
yeah.
tab.
I'm gonna jump from this to Solomon after I make the point. He says, but Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord Yahweh, which goes into the story of Noah, how he flooded the whole earth, killed everybody off except for the righteous animals, and two of every animal and the righteous animals, as well as the eight souls in that time. Okay. But that shows you when they went into the sons of the power went into the daughters of men, uh, they were defiled by the heathen women because they followed after their customs and their gods and their ways. Now let's go into the book of I believe it's First Kings, chapter 11. Yep. Um, yep. I'll start at top. At the top, it says First Kings 11:1. But King Solomon loved many strange women, together with the daughters of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Amorites, Edomites, Sidonians, and Hittites, of the nations concerning which the Lord said unto the children of Israel, Ye shall not go in to them, neither shall ye come in unto you, for surely they will turn your. This is the point right here why you don't do it, not because they're a woman. It says, For surely they will turn away your heart after their gods, right? Because he didn't want to worship in their gods. That's what the number one commandment out of the 10 said, have no other God before me. Right? It says, Solomon clave unto these in love, and he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines, and his wives turned away his heart. Yep. Um, Let me see. And that was the point. Yeah, but as a matter of fact, I'm going to jump down to verse 6. And Solomon did evil in the sight of the Lord Yahweh, and went not fully after the Lord, as did David his father. Then did Solomon build an altar here high a place for Chemosh, the abomination of Moab, in the hill that is before Jerusalem, and after Molech, the abomination of the children of Ammon. And likewise did he for all his strange wives, but burnt incense and sacrifice unto their gods. And the Lord Yahweh was angry with Solomon because his heart was turned from the Lord power of Israel, which had appeared unto him twice, and had commanded him concerning this thing that he should not go after other gods, but he kept not that which the Lord commanded. So, and that's what happens, man. You know, you get so deep with these other women and their heritage and their gods and their customs and their nation that they're from, that you take on their whole spirit. But
Right.
that's not what's supposed to happen. They're supposed to take on your spirit, like like Ruth did with Boaz,
No.
the
Yep.
Ruth and Naomi. Yeah, you know, she's supposed to take on his and then bear him children that will grow up in the Israelite way.
And
You
not
know.
only did she take it on fully, that after Boaz passed, she still wanted to remain amongst our people.
Yep, because she saw it was
She
wise to live
yeah,
that way.
she was it Naomi, I believe it was,
Yep,
that told her, go ahead and be among your people, go remarry and all that.
yep.
Like, but she's like, no,
I
she wanted
want
to
to say,
stay amongst our people.
yep,
That's how
that's
much
right.
his spirit was on her.
That's right. That was it on that. So what you got? We
All right,
already
so
at an hour. We had an hour and 15. So We can
Yeah,
keep
I just
going.
got a couple quick rapid ones just to,
No, we good.
just how to get fully into the Hellenazation. If you can go
Absolutely.
to start off at 1 Corinthians 12:1.
Perfect.
Start at verse 2 actually.
Yep. This is the book of First Corinthians. Let me get it right quick. First Corinthians chapter 12. It's right here. First Corinthians chapter 12, verse 2. Yep. Ye know that ye were Gentiles carried away. I'll start at one. Now two is good. You know that ye were Gentiles carried away unto these dumb idols, even as ye were led.
Exactly. Because
Mm-hmm.
we were all, Gentiles before you wake up. All of our people, including us. We were in that
Let me
Gentile.
read the first verse because it'll give a clue onto
Go
who
ahead.
he's talking to. 12:1. Now concerning spiritual gifts, brethren, meaning fellow believers in the spirit
Mm-hmm.
of Yahweh Shem Shah, I will not have you ignorant. You know that ye were Gentiles carried away unto these dumb idols, even as ye were led. Showing you that he was talking to the Israelite foreigners, Israelites that were converted through the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shah back to being Israelites, even though they were raised in the customs of heathens. And
Right.
even now, we may be called the Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans, known to be Israelites, but the lifestyle we were living was of a heathen. We kept Christmas, Easter, New Year's Day, which is in the middle of a season that's stupid, Thanksgiving, Halloween, and so on and so forth. All these pagan holidays that were passed down unto us. And because we're in captivity, this was like the law of the land, so we just rolled with it. And now our people are so wholeheartedly in it, we fight, to have the biggest Christmas tree, even though the scriptures tell you don't worship the Christmas tree and don't deal with it. We're the ones that want the biggest feast with the most abominations in the on the plate. The fattest hams with the honey glaze and all that on there. We look to be the biggest heathen, more than the actual heathen are. We don't have any discipline in our diets when it comes to our feast days or in our
Exactly.
customs. You got it.
If you can get um, um, Ephesians 2:11.
Got you. Yep. Ephesians chapter 2, verse 11 says, wherefore remember that ye be being in time past Gentiles in the flesh, who are called uncircumcision by that which is called circumcision in the flesh made by hands.
Right. Now hold that. Go get Psalm 69.
Psalm,
Psalms 69 and 8.
uh-huh. Psalm chapter 6, chapter 69. Go back. Psalm 69. Let me see. Uh, verse 8, you said?
Yeah, verse 8.
Yep, it says, I am become a stranger unto my brethren and an alien unto my mother's children.
Right. So that goes into the same thing that
Yep,
Paul speaking of in Ephesians. Go back to Ephesians.
yep. One
We've
second.
been,
Let me.
been we've been we're strangers amongst our people. Our
Yep.
people war with each other, not knowing that we're brothers. The scriptures say,
Mm-hmm.
part of the curses, your eye shall be evil towards your brother. So that's
Yep.
why you see our people killing each other. But that's part of
Yep.
the curse. Our
You want
people don't.
Ephesians 2:11 again?
Yeah. Yep.
Yep. Ephesians 2:11. Wherefore remember that ye being in time past Gentiles in the flesh, not in the spirit though, right? It
Hmm.
said, who are called uncircumcision by that which is called circumcision, those that knew they were Israelites and were still
Right.
keeping the customs, in the flesh made by hands. Yep. Matter
Keep
of fact,
going.
I'm gonna keep going. Yeah, it says
Yeah.
in that in,
Because the
that
point,
at
the point to the precept for Psalm 69 and 8 is verse 12.
Yeah, exactly. Con. In that time ye were without Yahushai, the anointed, being aliens from the commonwealth of Israel, and strangers from the covenants of promise, having no hope and without the power Yahweh in the world.
Ain't that what some said? I become
Yep.
I've been strangers to my brothers and aliens.
Yep.
That's what's happened to the nation of Israel. To the point where we didn't know we were a beautiful people when King David was in rule and then King Solomon was in rule. Well, the only time this
Mm-hmm.
planet has really seen peace and order, we would we would help our you know what I'm saying. We would help our people.
Yep.
It wouldn't be like if those times were now, like our people had that same spirit, if we wouldn't discontinue from our heritage and know who we were and everything like that, then it
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't be an Israelite on the side of the road with their car broken down.
All right.
It'd be two, three other Israelites stop and help him get his car going or get it towed to get it fixed. And they
That's
would
right.
have somebody, you go to you could
I
be an
wouldn't
Israelite.
be trying to get price gouge them.
Exactly. I was the point I was about to say, bro.
You
Take it
got
to
it.
a mechanic, and here you are. You might be a Southern Kingdom, and the mechanic might be a Northern Kingdom, but he over here gassing your prices up, telling you shit that you don't even need done to get you
Mm-hmm.
in a multiple hundreds range when it's really probably like a $50, $60 job that he
Yep.
really needs to, just to replace a part and some labor. But
Yep.
if he knew we were all the same people, he'd be like, come in, and it wouldn't be. It'd probably be like, just whatever you can, and then
Yep.
brother would bless him with what he can.
Yep.
Things like that. We looked out for. You sojourning from one land to the next land.
Yep.
A fellow Israelite to take you in. They know you got a far journey.
Yep.
Come
Come
here,
in
come eat,
and say Terry.
replenish
Terry with
yourself,
me for a
take a
while.
shower. Got a guest
Eat.
room. Sleep as long as you need until you're
Hey,
ready to hit the road.
hey, you need a little something, some little nightly entertainment. I got my daughter. You can
Yeah,
get
it's
her.
like, yeah, go ahead, take her with you.
Mm-hmm.
Take care of them. Our
Yep.
people we have a glorious history and a
That's right.
beautiful history, man.
And
That
part of
our
that
people don't know.
Hellenization is our people don't know that that's our history and how we supposed to be. We kind of
Exactly.
practice it, on a low level, in the hoods and amongst each other. When Jake all are the have-nots and ain't got nothing, but when Jake get a little money, man, Jake act real funny. They want to be like the heathen, man. They want to be like the Edomites.
Yep. Lawless, no control, no order.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
Too
where our
good to
people
be
are now.
around your own people. What you got else?
Now keep reading on that Ephesians.
Oh, yeah, we've been 13 on
Yeah.
down. It says,
Yep.
but now in Yahweh Shai Mashiach, ye who sometimes were far off are made nigh by the blood of Yahweh Shai. For
Right.
he
That's
is,
us. That's
yep,
us coming into the faith and to the truth. And that's why
yep,
when you have these
waking up
holiday
to it.
seasons going on, we don't partake in that.
Yep,
Because we the scriptures say, like you quoted earlier, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. And now we worship Yahweh Bashem Yahushai in spirit and in truth. So we know, okay, we don't partake in this. This is a paganistic holiday. This is a tradition of a
mm-hmm.
man. We don't partake.
Yep. I got to keep reading.
You got it.
Yep, it says, for he is our peace who have made both one. Who that both one? The circumcision and the uncircumcision. The Israelite that knows he's an Israelite and the Israelite foreigner who don't know he's an Israelite. He have brought them both in because they believe in it. And now it says, for here's our people who have broken down the middle wall of partition between us. Meaning he made us all one in the beliefs because through the spirit we're all the same people. The spirit bear witness with our spirit that we're the Israelites. So it don't matter if you're an Israelite foreigner, the Holy Spirit gonna vibe with you. If you're a heathen, it's not gonna vibe with you. The name is dreadful, and it is part of the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai. Okay, but those that know they are, that's one thing. But those that don't, they get that same spirit to connect to also, and that's how we know we're all one and brought back together. That's the same fold that other fold I have that Yahweh Shai talks about. That's also the mixed multitude in Revelation that Yahweh Shai talks. Those are Israelites that are waking up to this thing. Okay, that's coming out of that Gentile state of mind. But there's a lot of known circumcision, so to speak, the people that know they Negroes, that may even know they Israel, um, people out there that still can't give up the way of the heathen. They just can't stop change. They can't change their diet. They can't stop being niggas. They can't stop doing the works of the flesh and of the world. And so, they got to deal with the condemnation of the heathen as well.
Yeah. Can you jump to? Can you get go to Colossians 2:8?
Gotcha. Colossians. Colossians chapter 2. Oops, passed it. One second. Right here. Colossians chapter 2, verse 8 says, "Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the traditions of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after the anointed Yahweh Shah."
That's right. So we don't let no man, spoil us from these vain philosophies.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, so-called Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, New Year's, all the national holidays celebrated. Those are vain philosophies which is a tradition of men at the rudiments of this world,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
The Most High had through Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah, has given us what? Has given us the truth and know that not to be taken or overtaken by these philosophies, so we don't
Yep.
partake in them. Now, if you
I
could
got
jump to,
I
you
got
got
one
something,
right
bring it
quick.
out.
Yeah, I got one right quick.
Come
Mark chapter 7.
on, verse 7.
Yep. See if I start 6. No, I start at 7. Howbeit in vain do they worship me, teaching for doctrines the commandments of men, for laying aside the commandment of Yahweh, ye hold the tradition of men, as the washing of pots and cups and many other such things that you do. And
Meaning a
and he
servant,
said, huh?
meaning a servant, like
Yep.
a washer of a pot and things. As you being a servant, that's what our people do. They serve after a tradition of men.
Yep. It says,
Good.
yeah, it says, and he said unto them, full well ye reject the commandment of the Most High, that ye may keep your own tradition. Yep. And that was,
Yep.
a matter of fact, jump to 13. It says, making the word of the Most High of none effect through your tradition, which ye have delivered, and many such like things ye do. Basically, we rather keep these pagan holidays
Right.
rather than keeping the commandments of the Most High. Some people even try to do both. You can't do both, man. They
And
don't oil and water don't mix. Two can't walk together. You can't
yeah,
serve God and
the
mammon.
world. Yeah, man. You got people that's what the scriptures say. Uh, Tarry not to the servant of the Lord. Roughly paraphrasing.
Yeah,
You know,
turn not to turn to the Lord. Yep.
yeah, tarry not to turn to the Lord, because why? Because that's you have eternal life. The scripture
Mm-hmm.
says, "Search the scriptures, in thee you shall have eternal life," or roughly paraphrasing as well. Our
Mm-hmm.
people don't want that. They want to keep doing some of the wicked stuff that they was doing, because that's in the spirit of our people. That's why the Most High took away. When you go into Isaiah, the first chapter, it talks about the Most High aren't accepting our sacrifices no more,
That's right.
because they were vain sacrifices.
Mm-hmm.
You
Premeditated.
which is supposed to be the way you repented. You
Yep.
you keep doing it. Our people look in the back. Oh yeah, I got some ram over there. I got some lamb over there, some sheep.
Beans, green,
I can go
tomatoes,
get with this
ram,
dude.
hog,
Like,
all, mall. You know that song?
yeah, Jake got all this stuff. We're like, okay, I can afford to sin. I
Yep.
I could go out and do this, and then tomorrow I'll go over and take this. I'll
To the
take this
priest and
to
sacrifice
the
it.
priest and have him sacrifice, tell him what I did, and he'll present my
Yep.
offering to the Lord for my repentance. So the
Yep.
Most High decided that I ain't taking your sacrifices anymore, because you sinning according to what you could afford. Meaning, because back then cattle was money, was real
Yeah.
money. So our people, man, it's just wickedness. Wickedness has deeds have surpassed the wicked. Our people just can't help it. like the things that the so-called white man count on, like during the holiday season. You know,
Mm-hmm.
like today was Black Friday, and you got your
Yep.
Cyber Monday,
Yep.
and all the holiday shopping. He depends upon the shopping of the Hebrew Israelites.
Yep.
That's what will show how well he did this last quarter, this final
Mm-hmm.
quarter of the
How
season,
much
when it comes to
control he
their
put the
revenue.
commercials out and all of
Yep,
that, and you watch it work on you.
exactly. That's why when you
Mm-hmm.
see on Black Friday, who's the main people you see stampeding in there, busting in Target and doing all this stuff? It's our people.
Yep. Yep.
And they this, how many years they do this? They do this every year. So tell me, after the first time you did that, if we're not dealing with the devil, if Esau's not the devil, after the first time they did that, why don't you have police presence out there? Why don't
Right.
they? Why don't you put an end to stopping this? You
Yep.
can easily organize this. It's a line. Black Friday, it's a line. People
Mm-hmm.
camp out.
Hey,
People, they don't give a damn about no camping out. They come bum rush the damn door as soon as they open it.
and I was gonna say this also. Going into Thanksgiving, many people's houses been burned down with these fried turkeys, and
Fried turkey,
many
Christmas trees
houses
too.
been burned down with these Christmas trees in their
Yep.
house. Every year it go down.
Every
It get
year.
worse and worse every year. People
Electrical
killed on
fire.
Halloween, all kind of shit.
Yep. So I just got one
Oh,
more
we almost
scripture.
forgot to bring that pagan word out.
Oh, okay,
That-
yeah,
yeah, but and, call your precepts so I'll grab it too though.
yeah. Second Edris 2:34.
All right, okay. Yep, yep, yep. A lot of people waking up though in these times, so that's a beautiful thing. But those that ain't waking up, man, that ain't sincere and wholehearted about it, you gonna catch a bad one, man. I mean, this ain't the video going into the punishments of not coming back to your heritage, but whoo, man. Click on any other video that's talking about them topics, man. You gonna see it. Want me to read it, or you want to go first?
Um, so I just pulled the one up on dictionary.com,
Yep.
and it says for pagan, it says one of a people or community observing a polytheistic religion as the ancient Romans.
Many God religion,
Hmm?
not the monotheistic God of Yahweh.
Poly,
You know,
polytheistic. Yep.
yeah, many. Yep.
Yeah. Right. And as is religion as the ancient Romans and Greeks, a member
Hmm.
of a religious, spiritual, or cultural community based on the worship of nature or the earth, or neo-pagan.
Hmm.
A
Instead
person,
of worshiping, hold on, instead of worshiping the one true living power, Yahweh,
right,
and His only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai. You got it.
is an uncivilized or unenlightened person.
Yep. And that's what we following after. Matter of fact, hold that. Let me grab something right quick. This is
You
Hebrews.
got it.
Hebrews chapter chapter 12, verse 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau, who for one morsel of meat sold his birthright. If you can look that word up, profane, you
Hmm.
can Google that. You don't even got to go blue letter. You can just Google that. And that'll give you a good answer itself. I'm going to keep reading while you get it. It says, for ye know how that afterward, when he would have inherited the blessing, he was rejected, for he found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears. So our head of who ruling over us is a profane person, you know? And watch what the word profane say.
So, like, give me a moment.
It's okay. Yep. Because when you go into this word, you think about who's ruling us, how he gonna be How we gonna trust him to spiritually enlighten us when he's giving us all the wrong things because he's outside the temple? That's what profane basically means. He's not in the spirit and then in the body of Yahweh Shem Shai. So we're being spiritually led by a carnal man, a man that seeks after death.
So, and this is from dictionary.com. Because
Uh-huh.
when I Googled it, it didn't give much from the definition that it pulled up. So
Uh-huh.
it says characterized by irreverence or contempt for the Most High
There it
or
is.
sacred principles or things irreligious,
There it
not
is.
devoted to holy or religious purposes,
That makes us
unholy,
go
heathen, pagan.
pagan. Pagan, the word
Yep.
pagan came up, right? Let
Yep.
me get
Not devoted by holiness or religious purposes, unconsecrated, secular.
yep, basically with the flesh and with the world.
Yep.
Um yeah, right here. Let me get this right quick. Yep. Psalms 50 and 16. But unto the wicked the most high said, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth, seeing thou hatest instruction and castest my words behind thee? So how are we gonna look to a man that's profane, pagan, outside the spirit of the temple of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, that won't take the instruction of the Bible of Yahweh Shem Yahushai to lead the people of Yahweh Shem Yahushai? How you gonna trust this man to guide us? What you think he gonna do? He gonna lead us into being a heathen just like he is, you know? And the last thing he want to do is put us back in our power over him. It's like going to your enemy or your rival and say you on a team, going to the other team and asking them to help make you better than them.
Right.
They ain't gonna do
Hey,
it.
Leo, but check this out. He don't want to do that, right? But that's exactly what he does. Like
Yeah.
Esau will hire a new dude and have you train him, and he's your replacement.
Yep.
That's what he does, man.
Asshole, man.
And after he done trained somebody else, start him off with less money than he's paying you, and after you done
Hmm.
trained him up to speed, then they let you go.
Yep.
That's exactly what he does, man. He has I forget what the terminology is in corporate America, but where they force you either like if you've been working at the company too long and they can't just fire you, they force retire you and they
Hmm.
make you retire. You know,
Hmm.
like because you hit that age. But if they can see that they'll make more money, they'll just let you go and just pay you with the retirement there. Even though you have like maybe 10 more years, you could be still working to add
Building
more
up
onto your
more money,
retirement. Yeah, he skip out on paying you that money by letting you go, and then hiring somebody fresh within their first year. They ain't got to pay much money to them.
right?
Talking about the devil, man.
Yep. What verse in Second Ezra did you want me to grab?
2 and 34,
Yep. Second
and
Ezra chapter 2.
that's the last one I got. Unless you got something else.
Nah, I don't think so unless the spirit hit me. But
No.
Second Ezra chapter 2, verse 34. And therefore I say unto you, O ye heathen, that hear and understand, right? Look for your shepherd, he shall give you everlasting rest. This is a good
Right,
closer.
because we as a people have been Hellenized and not know who we are, discontinued from our heritage, and there was a
Hmm.
falling away from our nation. But now,
Hmm.
in these last days, the Most High is waking our people up. So
Yep,
our
he
people
calls
that are
heathen.
right, those heathens, those heathens are Israelites. The
Yep.
Israelites, they're Israelite foreigners. They're in the Gentile state of mind because they're living
Hmm.
like heathens, and that was all of us before we came in the truth.
Yep.
We were celebrating all these holidays and things like that before we were woken up. But the Most High have led us because it's that same shepherd. When you read in Revelations 3 and 20, said he gonna knock at your door
That's
and he
right.
will come and
Sup
sup
with you.
with you.
That's right.
You got it.
At 34 again, it says, and therefore I say unto you, O ye heathen, that hear and understand, look for your shepherd. He's only the
Bro,
shepherd of the
let's say something
Israelites.
again, bro. That's why I say what I say in the intro
Yep.
about the Israelite foreigners that may
Hmm.
not look like Israelites, but they see go back to one of the 12 tribes and they listen and they understand this truth and what
Yep.
they sincere.
That's right.
That's what this is for. That's what we trying to wake up. We trying to wake up the whole for elect.
That's right. It says, look for your shepherd, he shall give you everlasting rest, for he is nigh at hand that shall come in the end of the world. Be
Yep.
ready for the reward of the kingdom, for the everlasting light shall shine upon you forevermore. And he's not talking about this can't be talking about heathens getting the
Right.
kingdom forevermore. That's talking about Israelites that were in a Gentile or heathen state of mind, or
Oh, that's
Hellenized state of mind.
that's a whole other topic, bro. Only Israel can be saved. That should be our next lesson.
We could, hey, Lord willing,
It would be the Lord's will. Only Israel can be saved. Because
you
that's
can
another
close it,
lie.
bro.
So-called weak. That's another philosophy. That's another Colossians 2:8. Beware, let no man be well you through false philosophies. You know
Mm-hmm.
that anybody can make it. Anybody can be saved. All you got to do is pray Jesus in your heart, accept
Yeah,
Jesus as your Lord and Savior, and you could be saved. No, not at all. Like you said, they can't make it in the kingdom. They're not gonna be in the kingdom like that. They'll be there, but they won't be there as kings. They
right. As
won't be there.
rulers. Yep.
They'll be in there in subjection, and they'll be subjection, be in subjection up under us. The scriptures say that they'll lick up the dust from our feet.
Mm-hmm. They're gonna
The
serve
scriptures
us.
say that, yep, the scriptures say that we're gonna break them like the in the pieces, you know,
Mm-hmm.
with the vessel, as a vessel,
Broken vessel. Yep.
like a broken vessel, the potter's clay. We're gonna rule over them in a harsh way because why? Because all the universe will be in line and in order under righteousness, and the laws of our laws they're gonna have to keep.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So you can close it out, bro.
Yeah. So basically, we went into the lesson regarding how our people, under the curses were scattered and scattered amongst the other nations, took in on the other nations' ways and their works and their customs, and totally discontinued from our own, and became Hellenized, and which forth brought us into a Gentile Israelite foreigner state. And when through
Mm-hmm.
Yahweh Bashem Yahushai placing men on the earth, which is a remnant to actually wake up to this truth, is how the elect will be woken up and being brought out of that Gentile state of mind and coming back to our true biblical nationalities, worshiping our true power and serving Yahweh Bashem Yahushai in spirit and in truth. And
Mm-hmm.
that's that's where we're at right now. We're at waking up our people because
Right.
it's stages, you know. So with that, I want to say all praise, honor, glory, and fear to Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Shem,
Yahushai,
Yahushua,
Ba'ashem,
Yahusha,
Rakakwadash.
Yahukadash,
Double honors to the apostles and elders who rule and teach well, and peace and salutations to the whole elect. Shalom.
for one.